So from fishing to fitness, our business, I thought, was a non-tech business. So I'm here today also to talk to you about the collaboration that we've had and are having with Newcastle University, our project, and in particular the business school here as well, the university. So it's been quite a transformation, it's been quite a journey, and it actually started before the pandemic. So before the pandemic, how did I get involved? Because that was one of the questions before, how did I get involved with university? I went on a program called Captured. I know there's one or two people in the room, and there's Joe over there, who I just met again today after about 7 years. And I went on the Capture program with Fiona Whitehurst from the university here. And it was about empowering females in business and SMEs. So as part of that process, I really enjoyed and I got a lot out of it and made some great relationships. It was mentioned that perhaps to help my business move forward, because at the time we were doing some early digital adoption. We were a face-to-face business. We were face-to-face, like universities, educating people to be personal trainers, fitness instructors, sports massage therapists in the fitness industry. So we were face-to-face and we were in gyms, health clubs, institutions. So we did some early adoption because we could see the writing on the wall in terms of where education, fitness education was going. Hooray, right.
I'll show slides.
Yeah, amazing, fantastic. So really, it's about transformation and university collaboration. So a little bit about us, as I mentioned before, is that we deliver personal training qualifications, fitness instructor qualifications, but really our sort of, if you like, the sort of focus is we work with coaches to actually help them set their own business up. So we have a bit of a slogan, which is we coach coaches on how to get into the business of personal training and to grow their own businesses. So though we're educators, we really have moved forward in terms of wanting to help other people start their own businesses and grow their own business as well. And in the meantime, we're trying to do the same with ours too. So we're committed to flexible learning. And we also focus on one-to-one student support. And again, as I mentioned, we want to empower students to pursue the career in personal training, sports massage, or gym instruction. And why do we want to do that? Because obviously people are qualified to teach in gyms and fitness centres and sports centres. They're also doing something which is supporting and helping the health of the nation. Because, of course, we have massive obesity epidemics in this country. People are actually starting not to slow down now. So in fact, it's starting to slow down, potentially reversing the actual aging process. So we've got all this amazing technology, amazing medical facilities and infrastructure. We're actually getting sicker. So by empowering people to get into the fitness industry and to become instructors, so they can then work with their clients with a range of different young, old, people with particular conditions, heart conditions, musculoskeletal conditions, that means bad backs, then they're actually also serving the nation as well, and serving the nation and internationally. So hopefully, well, what I think I can bring is 30 years of experience to helping and supporting the future growth of our business in that respect. So what we did is and I do talk a lot, so I appreciate you moving the slide on there to move me on. So how did we get involved with Arrow? So through Arrow, obviously we started to look at the business and how we could transform our business digitally. Before the pandemic, we were doing some early adoption, as I mentioned. During the pandemic, like a lot of businesses, we pivoted online and we had to dramatically pivot. It was either sort of survive or die. The industry was closed down, like many industries were. So we had to really think of what we were going to do. So we went completely online and we were ahead of the curve. So we were able to survive during the pandemic. In fact, it was a pretty thriving time for us. We were going, oh, this is great. But we lost government contracts. We lost funding contracts. Again, the industry was closed and there was no facility to actually fund them. And unfortunately, a lot of funding went, I'm sorry, is there any colleges here? But it went to the colleges and small providers like us. It was taken away because it wasn't seen as sustainable in a sort of a time of difficulty. So we had to pivot again. What do we do? So again, we focus back on fitness education, empower people to get other people fitter, healthier, well, and feeling amazing, and also again, hopefully focusing on health and nation. So that's what we do now. So we're not in the education of, well, we used to work with apprenticeships and different funding structures very well. We've now focused all our efforts onto the actual really focused fitness training, personal training, strength and conditioning training, sports massage, obesity and diabetes training. So in a way, it kind of helped us focus our business into what we really were passionate about and what we really felt we could actually do something about. So we work with Arrow. Could you go back a slide? Sorry, yeah. We work with Arrow, and I got that through Captured. The Captured programme initiates, and have a chat with the university about the Arrow programme. It may be something to help you with your digital adoption and looking at how you could digitise your education and your e-learning even more. So that's when I started. I thought, okay, well, maybe, that might help, but I'm not a science-based business, and, I'm not researching polymers. So I thought, well, it wouldn't be for me. But actually, I was amazed, I was surprised. I had chats with the university, and they focused on looking at initiating and researching analysis of the technology in our sector and how we could actually use that for our benefit. And also focusing on digital learning and e-learning as well, and how can we take that forward. So they conducted a comprehensive analysis of the technology, the information management and the content creation. But also what it did start to do as well, I don't know whether anybody feels like they think you know what you want, but actually it started to challenge me, particularly in terms of the business. And I was going, oh, what, really, where, wow, is that happening? And Justin, who's in the room here, was amazing. Shout out to Justin. He was researching the market, the growth in the fitness market, the technology in the fitness market. And I would not have had time, and none of my team would have had time to actually do that research. So for anyone who's thinking about it, the time factor alone to produce the report and to work on the research, we just would never have achieved it in 5 years. So he managed to do in a few months what it would have taken us 5 years to do. So that was really quite eye-opening. And as a result of that, we implemented some strategies at the end of the report, and we started to look at what we could actually do with the report. Thank you for moving on, yeah. And how we could implement that in the business. And it was about looking at different types of platforms, what was the best for us, and he went through a full comprehensive range of, build your own platform, one off-the-shelf platform, a corporate platform, a Moodle platform, and I did not know there was about 20 different types of platforms. So he went really deep into that and looking at which would be best fit for us, and came up with a report. So just to give a little bit of context to that report as well, I said we were doing early adoption, which allows us to pivot during the pandemic. But also we find a lot of providers where they're starting to come in the market. A lot of gyms are starting to run their own training as well. So there's a trend going on. There was also a very competitive landscape in terms of fitness technologies. Anybody go to the gym here? Yeah. Anybody use a machine where you can sort of use your program? No. Anybody done an online class? Yeah. Anybody heard of Peloton? Yeah. Anybody got a Peloton bike? Amazing. Does anybody have a Peloton mirror? Right, it's now a mirror. That's just a mirror. It's now a mirror that you can actually sit on your bike or your piece of equipment, and you're doing a squat or something. Then there is an instructor in the mirror who is actually checking your technique and very back what you're doing. So the technology has moved on, and we're going. If you just turn to page 24 of your manual and look at the bones. So the industry itself was moving ahead of education. So that was quite key for us, a competitive landscape. What can we do and how can we differentiate ourselves? How can we actually move forward? How can we grow and basically help? So at the end of this amazing report and challenging thinking for us as a business, we decided to actually look at what else could we do. So we started to put this plan together. But then talking to the university and Justin, they said, well, actually, there is another program within the university. You want to stop the next one? There is sorry, just jumping ahead of myself there. I'll come to that in a second. We've already mentioned that we looked at the evaluation of all the learning platforms. So again, that's non-tech. But it is digital tech, isn't it? It's digital tech, so it's going to be digital tech. Looking at scalability and looking at personalization. For us, the key thing as well was looking at adaptability and interaction for people, for students. Notoriously,
online learning has a really high dropout rate. Well, we want to change that. So we want the same success that people have face-to-face. Currently, we have that in our assessments. We have the same success rate online as people do face-to-face. So we want to actually now move that into the learning phase. And we want to actually look at integrating AI for adaptive pathways as well for people in education. What that looks like, we don't know at the moment because we are working on this with the university, which I'll come to in a moment as well. We want continuous learning progression for our fitness professionals. Thanks. Yeah. So that was the outcomes of the Arrow project. Yeah. So the slide might be a little sort of one different sort of place, but never mind. The university collaboration. So why do we collaborate with the university? Because they provided so much valuable insights into the technology course, again, that we would never have been able to do. They also were impartial, and that's really important. I don't know what you do in business or other businesses, you want information, you want some research, you want something that's impartial, that is coming from a place of potentially for us as academia, research, looking at what's best for the business. Of course, the university has targets themselves, but they have no thing to say, okay, we must, land this now because it's going to lead to new business for us. Of course, not targets, but what I mean is they're impartial, they're looking at from an academic point of view, from a research point of view. So, of course, that was very, very reassuring to collaborate on that process. Also, because the Newcastle University has a lot of cutting-edge technology, is known for its digital technology. Again, that was something for me. I found security in that. I also found that it was a place where, again, it was challenging to us to look at our business and the opportunities that we had. We also, during the process of the Arrow project, we had lots of collaborations. We had lots of meetings with Justin and also Sabas, who was from the business school. So the meetings were really important because it gave an opportunity to talk about what we wanted out of the project and what the university felt would be really good. And quite often it was a bit, it wasn't, I wouldn't use the word argy-bargy, but there was a bit of wrestling going on, and I certainly wrestled with what I thought was the mission for the business, and I found that challenged me to rethink the whole business model. So I thought it would be a research project, and that would be amazing if we did implement it. In fact, it challenged me and our team into looking at our whole business model itself and expanding our horizons and what was potentially what we could do. So that was really quite significant. So what next? So that was the Arrow project. We were ready to implement lots of things, but then went, holy moly, this is a big task for us to do. So we have been working with the university, and we made an application. I hope that's okay to say, but it's up there now, isn't it? To say that we have made an application to Innovate UK with the university for a knowledge transfer partnership. And that's taking the findings from the Arrow project, the research, the marketing, the digital adoption, and looking at now doing a one-stop e-learning digital platform that has generative AI involved, where it's appropriate potential gamification, potential VR in that. And we're putting together also a digital marketing adoption. So it's going to be looking at a one-stop platform, but it's also going to be looking at the business's digital marketing model. In fact, it's going to be looking at the whole business model. And that's going to work where we're working with the university, and we have had 4 people working on this application for the last 6 months, talking through again. And this process is really good if you've got a business, because you get to talk through your business, what's happening now, what you think is going to happen, and anything like that. That's not a good idea after all. And it is very challenging. I keep using this word challenging. I think sometimes as business owners, you get to sit a bit comfortable in your own aspirations, don't you, in your own visions of what you should do and where you think you should be. So I think it's really, really good to be challenged, and that certainly has happened in the last 6 months. So we pulled together as a team as well, a really important team with the university collaboration. We pulled together, they pulled together an application, and we'll see what happens with that. But if that happens, what we're going to do is looking at platform development, It's going to be looking at the business requirements and implementing state-of-the-art e-learning and online fixed platform, but it will also be digital marketing in there, so there'll be systems within that as well. There'll be accounting within that as well. Yeah. We're going to be looking, I mentioned the marketing approaches. We will also be leveraging AI technologies within that as well. And then we'll be testing it in the real world, see what happens, and then refining it and moving on from there. So to finish up, sorry, I probably have a little bit, is the benefits of university collaboration. So, yes, innovation. I probably haven't used that word enough. The innovation boost that you will get from research and technology. And I'm not being paid by the university. It really has been a game changer for us working with Newcastle University and Newcastle Business School. So, access to cutting-edge research, and again, look at amazing companies that are out there as well. Again, universities really specialise at that cutting-edge technology, and that's what we felt would be really helpful for our business. Funding opportunities. So I would not have known about Arrow unless I'd been on the capture programme with Joe and Fiona Whitehurst. I would have known about the Arrow funding, and if I hadn't been on the Arrow programme, I wouldn't have known about the funding for the knowledge transfer partnership. So although the funding doesn't come directly into your company, it facilitates research and development, and also the knowledge transfer partnership will give us an associate that is supported and overseen by the university, working directly into the business to develop and plan a state-of-the-art one-stop shop e-learning platform. We also, I've expanded my network and my connections as well, met some old friends, and access to industry leaders, thought thinkers, and intellectually, and sort of your own mental development, your own personal development. It certainly has made me look ahead on that. So, yeah, this strengthens our reputation. I hope in the future as well, I would like to be able to report a successful one-stop shop e-learning fitness education platform in the future. So, I've probably already covered this in terms of our scaling for success. We also are going to be, we will position so that we will be able to expand globally as well. Because again, because online there are no barriers, and English education qualifications now which can be transferred across the world. So that's from the USA to Portugal to India and other areas. So we really want to grow that, and this platform will enable us to achieve that growth internationally as well. Okay, if you want to get in touch or reach out or connect on LinkedIn, I would love that. Any feedback for what we said today, I can help anybody who's got questions. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Janet. Does anyone have any questions, observations, comments?
More of a comment in a way, but I think you've perfectly articulated what the Arrow project can do in terms of being initial, but almost no risk toe in the water in terms of what the art of the possible is. And you know, obviously the people that you've worked with at Newcastle University has been able to create that sort of vision with you to say, well, what more can be achieved, and that can logically then flow on to the knowledge transfer partnership. And I think that's a really good opportunity for all businesses to sort of de-risk that initial foray into innovation and research and things. So I just think it was a really interesting presentation. Really, it was more of a comment.
Thank you very much, and that's a really great comment to say de-risk, because that's exactly coming out of the pandemic. No one had much money in their pockets, and you know, what do you do to adapt and grow and try and revive again? What do you do? You know, do you rather than watch Netflix, or you go, right, what can I do? So I chose not to do Netflix, but it was a low risk, but it high reward. Yeah, thank you very much.
I think also, sorry, the other point about being leading on to other things. I mean, I guess from Chris's point of view, and all universities, you would hope that one project led on to multiple projects and actually start to create a real relationship with universities rather than just being a one-off thing.
Yeah, 100%. And for me, that's just, relationship in business is something really important. So it's not just say you have that and I'll take that, the relationships are really important. So I do want to grow with the university, and you know, that's why I'm quite passionate about some of the virtues.
Do you how do we talk like a certain criteria? How is it or Chris, is that something you're going to touch on at any point? Is the mechanics of it all, or is it worth getting into that now, or would you rather leave that until later? I can give you 30 seconds on it. Come on, give us a 30-second.
Maybe the process is really simple actually. And what you do in my life, because it's all about with the academic team, professors, knowledge transfer partnership, managers, the people. It was the people, not just in the form, it's actually the people who helped.
Okay, so as we were in the moment through to March 2025, which is where our current funding is, there's basically geographical restriction, which is around the local authorities who are funding it. So it's decision to be based in Durham County Council or North Time. So that's the kind of first barrier. In terms of eligibility, Kenny, you've taken into European funding in the past. There are very few rules around this. I guess the kind of starting point in terms of eligibility is having a conversation with us and seeing if we've got the right expertise to help you. It's probably the real starting point. Hopefully you go further this one, there are all sorts of things that we can help you with. In terms of funding essentially pays for the team, so that some people in the room are the team pays for their time, so there's no bill at the end of the business. Obviously, you put in your own time in. You can see from Janet's presentation that at times that has a lot of interaction, but very much depending on how much time you've got to put in the project. Sometimes how much is needed. So I think some of the other projects we're taking things away, working all out, or working in workshop, get to the end. So it kind of depends on the nature of the project. So there are a lot of criteria. Do you have any other specific questions, or kind of walk through that? Well, we haven't, because it's not a service offering, so we're not, if you want marketing, I'd probably recommend a marketing agency or a market research firm. So I think that thing is having that conversation with us about what it is that you want to do. If you're not sure, then we're not business consultants trying to figure out the best way to support your business. We'll have a conversation with you, but I think works best when you come to us with a challenge that you want us to tackle, and then we can see if we can tap into the expertise. So it's just a slightly different offering. But I think there are other things out there in the business support community that are possibly better ways to identify, help you figure out what is the thing that's going to have most impact on your business. We're probably not the best place to answer that question, but I think the thing that we've done really well through our own is figuring out what it is that we're good at the universities, is supporting businesses, and it's kind of blend those strengths.
And again, Jazz, thank you for that. And if anyone wants to chat with Jazz more specifically, then Nothing really, just going to tell us about some stuff that. Thanks, Terry. Good morning. Let's do this morning. I'm thinking between you, I guess, a cold and sandwich. So let's get into it. So, as Chris has said, there's 4 great universities, lots of expertise in there. So I am representing Northumbria, and I'm going to introduce you to the team, the full-time Arrow team. We're obviously just a shop front, and then behind that, there's all the academic expertise and the kids and expertise. So Robin, hands up. There she is. Robin's the leading person. She's got great network of contacts. She's the BD people.
So she is effectively the root team to all the expertise inside of the university. She knows everything, she knows what they're good at, she will make it happen. There's this character who's an haggard old ex-industrialist, semi-retired, just using this network of contacts, people, and a kind of product development mindset, so a bit more industrial rather than academic. We've got Craig, who is a magician in the laboratory. You can see some of his work in the moment. What he can't do is synthetic organic chemistry. It's not what we're going about. But we're now converting people away from an organic chemist, turning into a polymer chemist, turning into a processor. Yesterday, we were talking about batteries and electronics, and power and torque. So I'm trying to turn away from chemistry. We've got Leah, who is, she's an organometallic chemist, but to understand organometallic chemistry, she's the first great artist about every piece of analytical kit we've got. So she can turn it, make the SEM sing to get really good micrographs. You'll see what those things are. So we're kind of front face of it, we'll do what we can. We're also linked to other people, scientists, we've got engineers, we've got lots of stuff. So case study number one, there's a very young David Irwin there. He's a designer of furniture down in Houston, and he had a grant funded project, which as all grant funded projects go with project Gantt chart, hard works, project finishes, and you have some success criteria to model the sample away from how you pay person otherwise do your job. Things cracking on with that quite happily, and everything was kind of going off the rails. It was all going red. And a feedstock producer that wasn't really scaling was required. Chemistry partner wasn't really committed, who was going to turn this into rollable resin. Chemistry partner was that region, by the way, one of us. UK distributor, the commercial resin couldn't actually provide anything. So he had nothing to mold. He was kind of in trouble. He had about a quarter of his project left. He reached out, as it was to Newcastle University, to say, thanks. They saw it to Northumbria's expertise, so we had a discussion. So we started a project pretty much to start of the year. Freddie did his magic, he made some polymer for him. I used my contacts and we got back of this stuff shipped over free of charge from America, because there are 8 banks in the world and abroad in America. And we went down to his place and we molded some samples. Those pieces have been waiting for the UK, so Tim, the project is now completed. Effectively, the path through the project is a sustainably harvest seaweed in Northern Europe to make alginate, sort of extract alginate medicine, and cellulose as a waste product. And that's a theme of everything in Hungary. We like to turn waste products into feedstocks. So if you have a waste product, you will allow someone else to use it. If you want something, you could look at someone else making something related to that waste. So seaweed cellulose as a waste product. Top right, Craig did his magic, turned it into a functional polymer. Could be melted and molded. See, cellulose is quite attractive. And on the left, it hasn't come out really well on this, but the commercial stuff we got from the States, we molded some pieces as insurance policy to say, can't do the chemistry, but at least we can show the resin works. But actually, in the bottom right, you can see we almost had enough material that was flat and mold with those material. That was what was very different to the UK guy. David's a happy guy. He's put him in touch with the manufacturing centre for a larger scale molding. He's asked to do some pressure property measurements. Put him in touch with SCFC to do some mold design work. Plants and molds in need. And he's super keen to do some more work with us to continue the polymer development. So it's a real success story. He's a lovely guy to work with. Yeah, we want to do more of this. But the arrow bit is just the start, just the small finite project at the beginning. Okay, second case study is actually two case studies. This is about people who wanted to find the right material, but they didn't know what was out there. I used to spend a lot of my life doing this with suppliers and just used to buy a lot of stuff. Used to rationalize stuff and how do you choose this one and that one. So it's about database building and about understanding what the customer wants. So the first one is subsidy batteries. So you know all these wind farms, whatever they built, and all this is done with underwater ROVs that just run around and do the job. There are batteries in them, they're very similar to car batteries in size and power output. They need recharging. These guys want to get into this market. But that's cool about battery because they're quite powerful. So they wanted us to look at coolant fluids for battery. So you want the thermal conductivity of it, the viscosity of it, as it flow around the inside of the battery. But beyond that, they also have in the car market, the next generation batteries are going to have immersed batteries. So you've also got electrical properties of the fluid. So you don't have to short out the battery, you don't want the battery corroding, you don't want to be aggressive to made of plastic components it's made of. So we built a really nice database. We had a really good meeting with the guy yesterday. We've taken a few suppliers to a lot of products and then based on the criteria, which is narrowed down to these are the really interesting ones. They look at that, they agree. They want us to do a bit more on this, as well as having those performance characteristics of thermal conductivity, viscosity, and electrical conductivity. They want us to look at the environmental impact and the health and safety impact. These batteries are going to be comparable by the users, so fish out water, crack it open. Want that liquid not to be harmful to people. A battery cracks open on the seabed, we want it not to be harmful to the reef. So there's a few extra criteria that we're building in and that's stretched. Second part is a polymer film for making an insulated layer of microchips. This thing is used for thermal sensing. So you have to match the thermal expansivity of the film to the silica-based substrate and have a layer at the top. So again, we've done a big review of all the producers of this material. Lots of buyers, shed loads of films, and that 12 have thermal expansivity coefficient as close to copper. So they start a meeting next to basically hand that information over the next steps. That's what I don't believe is people in this steps. So, for universities, Chris told us about the specialisms at the beginning. We're looking really at advanced materials and sustainable chemistry. But we're giving a flavour of it's not just guys with beakers, we're building commercial databases. We're looking at things like odors in food. We're looking at biodegradability, so we make packaging to put your product in, and that packaging gets disposed of properly, or maybe not. What happens to it? We can test that. We've looked also at people who make spin reactors. We've looked at can you actually, rather than the residue that goes around the reactor, smash it off and dispose of it, you actually equalize it and reuse it to process efficiency goes up. So it's quite broad. I'd say the best advice is ask, not sure. Who to ask? These characters. This is the slide I want to take a picture of any of them. So that's my slot. I'm happy to take questions. I'm happy to grab you afterwards over a cold stand. Thanks for your attention.
Commercialisation and supply chain, how do you deal with that once you've actually got through the working with a client and development product, take the batteries through it? At what point do they bring in or do you bring in the supply chain to be able to commercialise that?
Yeah, It's two parts. So the things like batteries, the polyols, these are all commercial products. Then it goes to start getting straight through to the company which supplies it. In some instances, we know those things, so we can make them introduction. So those things are commercially available. There's different questions economic, contact prices, prices that are on dollars. We're linking people directly to commercial products. I've looked back to the seaweed cellulose project. Seaweed cellulose is a kind of emerging market. The wood-based cellulose in America is about 7 times more expensive than the polypropylene, which is just less. This is high-end furniture for rich people. So it's not the kind of idea and that kind of stuff. But yeah, that polymer we know that we can scale up. I know that we can go to scale up. I can see a path to that. Some products are on the market already. So just because I want to repent, I'm not really interested in doing science. To make try and pick that out. Not managed to get.
And all that paper project, as you described it, seemed like it was going wrong and Arrow part of what rested at the end. How would you just think you could go back there before it started, how would you suggest that he structure that so that you didn't have to go to that payment and then got there faster?
I don't think it came on screen as a emoji in the original one.
Yeah.
Maybe that should just use his space for that on the screen. He had best way to answer this. He made you, he did everything right. He chose to partner with the principal to do the chemistry. Obviously, they were more based on materials from farming, like Yorkshire, Midlands area. And their focus was that. Their focus wasn't small projects to see somewhere else. So they really didn't service the market. So part of the selection, we were really keen to do this. And Craig took great work out of chemist, my background is more than chemistry. So we knew, so it was always a lot to do it. Some of it's Chancellor. So their technical consulting project, we've been trying to get the UK distributors with commercial material to get that stuff. I said, we're getting back this, we found out that we're all in testing. So UK distributors wasn't motivated to help because we didn't see the sales. What happened was I used to run some polymer development groups in the company when I was in industry. One of the guys in the United States said that the technical head of the company stuff. So he just really wouldn't say, this is how I'm going to chat. So that's total chats. But equally, I do like a lot. And I know a lot of people who don't.
So it sounds like what you said there, you try to engage commercial partners who were maybe too large to be interested in what he was trying to do, and you guys, as an academic institution, were worried about the scale, and that so you were able to do things on like get that one bag. It's not worth it. Partner, but you guys were you helped him run his small scale project with people who actually remotely.
Yeah, it wasn't. Craig was quite shocked from his chemistry background. He thought he was doing scale when he was scaling seaweed cellulose, 500 grams of seaweed cellulose, and then visualize ultimately manufacturing 500 grams of polymer. He thought that was a big scale. And then his 25 kilo bag lines from America. Like, this is just the beginning. You don't need it. It goes to the next stage. I know where we're going on. It's not going to now. So I'm just a industry performance area, so I've never tried to drive this at the end. Partners that David chose, actually, David chose partners that chose to go engage. I'm sure they could have done that the same. I just think Chris has got good people, all the team seems to actually see the case with the projects that I hear about. Just to get good work. And remember on the agenda, just for that. Thanks for that, very well. Thank you to all our speakers.
And if you want to connect with any of them or find out more about Iowa or any of the stuff you could about it, it was probably sort of available afterwards, so please don't feel the need to rush off without trying to make sure that you get to the game for what's busy about it. If you haven't had it yet, then there's still a little bit of time to get the game. So I'm just going to finish off, or we're just going to finish off. There's a few people who just want to tell us a little bit about who we are, what we do. So I'm just going to invite them up. Give us a artwork. Great day to give us a 2-minute pitch. So first of all, let's run here. Is Ben here? I know Joe's here. Where's Joe? Oh, there. Are you just going to show a video? Yeah, you can do that. So here's Joe's video, which won't be as good as he did to himself. There we go. Just use you want to hear my first? There she is.
That QR code has got my LinkedIn profile. If you'd like to know a little bit more about it, we just received some innovative payments from this, which we're about. But yeah, when we're the self-challenge of helping people find passion in this really complicated defense landscape, and doing it by putting design first and putting people first. So I'd love to talk to anybody who would like to know a bit more.
That's true. I know Herb's here. And Herb's a special, not really special announcement, but a special thing to do for us. So for that, we can document them. We're going to find some slides.
Thanks, Gareth, and thanks so much for letting me. It's rare that event organizers or other event organizers come and pitch their wares. But I'll be quick. It's something here, nobody made this space, I've never been here before, I didn't realize actually visit. Unfortunately, I went to the boiler shop first, and then had to quickly go over. Anyway, so really cool. Right, okay, cool. So we're talking about the planning of this gathering, but just to quickly establish, I realize there are some old faces, which is great to see, including my first ever Newcastle flatmate, but I won't reveal who that is, to preserve their privacy today. So I'm originally from the US, I'm born in Brooklyn. I came to the UK in '97, this is Oxford, full time, I moved over, and then in 2002, I landed on Geordie Shores and set up something. I worked with the old regional development agency to set up something called Codeworks, which I ran for 10 years. Until 2012, when I set up my own company. And we specialize in large line in-person thought leadership conferences. We serve audiences who are primarily interested or specialize in innovation or innovative thinking, which I would thought would include 100% of yourselves. So the other events that we're known for, Picky Digital Conference, which just is the 15th edition this past May. TEDx Newcastle, which normally is in November, but we're skipping a year this year, and I'll tell you why in a moment. TEDx Manchester, which is the next one will be in March. And then the Bright Ideas Gathering, which as the date says is next happening on Saturday, 2nd of November at the Gala in Durham. It'll be our 4th edition of the conference, and we really, we've obviously spent 3 years building it up, and we really want to make this one a special year. In terms of some of the speakers, we have Tom Ayuseri, who is an AI specialist at Trinity College over Dublin, and he's going to ask us to imagine a future when our management, our co-workers will be AIs, and what might that be like. Some of you will undoubtedly know Joanna Feely's 10 Bible, and she will be revealing, she's done a recent book and will be helping us reveal how she and others look into the future and predict what we're going to be eating, drinking, and wearing and decorating in 2030. The MP Liam Byrne, who has done a book recently on wealth inequality, and going to be talking about why it's happening, why it's bad, and what we can do to try and ameliorate it going forward. Melissa Hogan, who is a BBC science journalist, and will be speaking about her own experiments on our own brain about how trying to rewire them using art, sport, and other activities to improve mental health, productivity, focus, and other positive things. And her failures and successes in trying to do that. Sammy Wright, who is school head in Sunderland, but also wrote a couple books about why schools in so many words suck today. In particular, he wants to talk about our over-obsession with exams and exam results in this country and why that's bad. Mr. Pingo, who is possibly an artist that some of you have hopefully have heard of before. He got a bit of notoriety in the pandemic when the artist David Hockney bought a bunch of these beer mats, board wellness beer mats. And he's known for other sort of whimsical pieces of work that we have on gravestones. This one you might not be able to see in the back, but Monkey during COVID. I don't think another piece like this. This will be a fucker frame. Turn your sadness into money and become an artist. So we have 250 registered already. We're pushing for 350. We just had Mayor Norby Smith will be opening the event for us and giving us a little bit of insight into what the first few months have been like for her. She establishes the new combined authority and representing the Northeast in London and beyond. I think she's in America right now, and she's doing something hopefully fun and exciting for us. And I'd love to invite you all to join us. Normally with these events, I've got to find ways to get people to buy tickets or to sponsor. Luckily, all that's taken care of. But I can now invite you good people to come join us free of charge as a guest. As an added bonus, lunch and all catering is also included. So you may actually make money by coming to my event, as opposed to having to, but it will be, of course, value your valuable time. If you you want to sign up, we have about 40 guest passes put aside right now. And it's just go to the website, tickets, the ticket section, and the code is just Rise and Design, which will hopefully be easy to remember. If for whatever reason you have any questions or want to reach out to me, Douglas on Herb on Twitter, or you can see my number. I don't think there are any other Herb Kids on LinkedIn. And that's it for me. What's this? Oh, this is next. All right, well, thank you so much. Thanks, Gareth. Thanks, sir. I think a couple about the right ideas are great. I can't make this one on another trip, but that's another story. But really seriously, they're really good. They're some amazing people. Some amazing people. And so I'm really encouraged to get there. I'll email you if you can get those emails on the screen. I'll send us to chance to get one copy. Right, but anyway, there. So this is what I said at the beginning, but that's our own increasing commission. Hopefully, some of that's going a bit more true for you this morning. It wasn't already. So in terms of design, of which you all are all now member, whether you like it or not, don't worry, we're not sending loads of stuff. It's nice to do things. Got a bit of information, not to send it to others. But if you want to do that's fine. But our role really is to support the growth of this network, which we've been doing for the last 50 years or so. And there's probably thousands of people and organisations around the north who I would consider to be part of design of the north. It's very encouraging collaboration. We've heard a bit about that today with universities, but you do something amazing, but quite often work with someone else, you do something you would never have dreamt possible. So we try to encourage things like that. Through events like this, another way, so if there's somebody you want to connect with, or somebody you don't know, there is somebody you want to connect with, but you know you need something, then do let me know, and we'll try and find someone, because I'm pretty well connected, but the network is a network, as a network of its own, so we can usually find someone who can do the thing that you want to do. And it's about sharing knowledge and things like this. And if you've got some knowledge you'd like to share on these events, then let me know. But often the subject that the next comes out of a conversation with someone who says, I'd really like to talk about such and such, and we're building around that. So this is you really want to share, and then let me know. For next year. I think it was and that was unity of profile as well, so that's something you think you can help with. And then we go. So one of the ways that we do that is through these rise design events, which is where you meet the last couple of hours. The one in December is our annual next share, which is also we repeat also it's a chance for anyone who wants to just tell everyone else who they are and what they do through the medium of Kucha, which is a chat ladies kind of presentation format where you get 20 slides, but they're on screen for 20 seconds, and you will get control. So it's you can catch up. But it's really, if you're not used to presenting, it's really get started. We can't actually call it Kucha because it's trademarked. We've got a study email last year for the Kucha Institute. So we have to pay them 600 quid to call it that. So we're going to call it Chit Chat, which is what Kucha is actually for. So on the official email goes out when we go but we all know that's what we do. And then in January, we're going to be looking at the internet hearing things, which is a bit like the internet things, but a bit more hearing. And there's a lot of going on in that area in the regions we're going to be doing examples of that. But beyond January, as I said, if you've got something you think we should cover, or something you want to share, then let me know. We can chat about it. Do get involved, though. That's the way to get the most out of the network, is to get stuck in, get connected, and make things happen. There's some other websites, so all the events, this is an outtake, all the forthcoming events are on the website, and also the recordings of the previous ones are on there as well, including this one. So it's being recorded. It's being recorded, so it'll be on YouTube next week. We can access it through the design website. Well, website, there's other stuff as well, so do all in design. I'm just going to mention a couple of things that are coming up. So we are part of RTC North, and we do lots of other things, including a scholarship program in Valley.
So they've got an event next week about the food and drink supply chain. So if you're involved in that area, you yourself, or you know somebody who is, or you want to get into it, and you want to go on to next Tuesday, so I'll send you information on that. It's in, if you're really desperate, we'll send you more deals. We also do the skill program. The founders ran a workshop on Monday here in Newcastle. Again, you'll get involved in that. I'll send you more information. And there's another network or another networking event. It's really good to tell them my God every month. I've been a couple of times, and Julie a few times as well. And I did a presentation there last month. So they do these every month. It's in the, I think it's the pavilion in Alec, and it's a good venue, and it's a really good bunch of people. So I heartily recommend that. The next one is in a couple of weeks, business and the great outdoors. So, and then the last thing I want to mention is I'm also the host of the Northern Spotlights podcast, which we started last summer, and it started her to be one of our guests, and also trying to be who's a great ideas going to be one of our guests. It's essentially, as I said, illuminating businesses in the North, so it's a conversation between me and some of these. We explore their whole life virtual impact, talking about the early life, and then we have Paul Callahan from the Lake Group, who also is the guy behind the fire station in Sunderland, talking about his journey. We also stop for a break halfway through, because we usually talk about our so you got a tea break, so the guests also get to choose their thing. This is fine. There's Andy Hammond from the Big Ring, enjoying Florentine and telling us why Florentine are his favourite cities, which is more interesting than so it's really good, I think, and it's a lot of fun, and there's no monster, this is a boring conversation. We try to get an interesting conversation. So they're all there on YouTube and on, oh yeah, that was me, as I mentioned, doing the trailer for it last week when I was on holiday. So they're all there on YouTube. I think we've got about, we've got 9, maybe 10 episodes, we've got a few more to come out, including a really, really good one in December. I'm not going to tell you which was a world famous film producer. And I was sat talking and thinking, what am I doing? Talking about Oscars and all these other things. But we'll get to about that another time. So do favorite things on YouTube, it's also on Spotify as well. I think that's the end. That's the end. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Chris and the team again for hosting us. There is still tea coffee there. So if you want to have another chat with someone, if you want to find out a bit more about our role, or if you just want to have for the next half an hour.